I have a question. How many of you practice your ABCD? Okay, I see a lot of puzzled faces, um, but we'll get back to that a little later. Um, my basic training is in architecture. I have been practicing for the last 4 decades and working on large and small projects, mostly in Karachi, some in Islamabad, Lahore, and elsewhere. So I'll just flip through these very fast. What's very important is that what I saw that, or all of us know that there is so much philanthropy and I think Karachi and Pakistan is probably the most generous country in the world, and that's I think quite common belief, and also it's been recognized all over the world that it's we have to see that how we can try to help humanity, how we can move forward, and there are what I see is that Pakistan is probably the best land of opportunity, and I will have to explain what that means. Is that it means that you can do so much good out here that I don't think any other country you can do so much good. And I got my first opportunity in 1982 when there were some ethnic riots in a town called Orangi in Karachi. It was very, very bloody. And I got a call from a friend, doctor, asking that if I could come to this large government hospital to donate some blood. So there were 4 of us architects and myself, and we rushed over there, and it was complete chaos out there. And very, very surprising. I'd never seen something like this. So all you saw were doctors running from one patient to the other, and as there was a stream of injured people who kept on coming. And it was a very helpless feeling until one doctor asked me that we have really run short of medical supplies, and if I could get some medical supplies for the injured. So all of us went across the street, and there were some pharmacies, and we got those medical supplies. And it really felt good that, you know, we've actually done something to help. Constantly there were, you saw these doctors running from one patient to another as there was a stream of injured people that kept on coming in, and there was ambulances that was screeching into the emergency department. And it was really bad. The following morning, it was like past midnight that we were there, and we really felt that we were one of them. We were one of the team. So whatever we could do, we did. The following morning, we architects, we thought we should go to that town and see what really happened there. It was a very, very emotional sight where we saw hundreds of people sitting under the December sky and shivering as all of their homes were destroyed. That's when our work really started. As architects, we thought that we should do something about this. Quietly, we started surveying the whole area, making plans, and we ended up building about 100 homes. And also, there were many, many shops and businesses that were burned down. So we helped them start their businesses again. Like there were tailors, or there were people who were renting bikes, and so we helped them start their businesses. Now, that was a real high as far as we were concerned. And through our architecture, as we knew how to plan and how to solve problems, and so that really, really helped us, and there was no looking back after that. And I thought that was my second nature, is to give back. But I realized that I enjoyed that much more than my own profession. That I read somewhere, somebody had written that happiness is in giving. But true happiness is in giving without expecting anything in return. And I really felt that I was elated while I was helping. Come 1986, we found a group of friends, individuals, concerned citizens, who were trying to fundraise for a 100-bed renal hospital, and we joined them to help raise those funds. And 2 years later, we had the kidney center, and that's how it looks today. So that once again gave us more belief in humanity. And what I said earlier, being the most charitable country in the world, so wherever we went, nobody questioned, and they just gave money. And whatever you asked, they gave that. In 1989, a group of friends, architects, artists, sculptors, we got together when we saw that there almost no institution, a degree awarding institution in art and architecture. And we said we should put up one. Had never done before. We've all had our work, our businesses, our professions. And we ended up setting up the Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture. And Alhamdulillah, it actually still thrives, and it's become an institution, a good institution, where there have been a lot of success stories from graduates. Feel very proud of that. Just a little later, I bumped into an old building in the old part of Karachi where they were pulling down this 100-year-old 4-story stone building, and it would have become rubble. So I went to the founders of Indus Valley and we said, you know, there's a beautiful building. Why don't we take it to our campus? And they said, you must be crazy. So anyway, so this craziness and the determination made it happen. And such things just don't happen every day. And I think this was a first in our complete region. And I've not seen anything like this happen. So this is called the Nasirvanji building. One side is 3 stories, the other side is 4 stories. And it's a beautiful, beautiful building, nested in front of the new structure that we had designed. And these are basically design studios, which look like this. And there were 27,000 stones, and we lost about 40. People were used to demolishing buildings, but they were not used to taking them apart and putting them back. And we did that. And so it's one of a kind thing that we did. There was a lot of guns coming into Karachi and the rest of the country, and we saw kidnappings, and we saw carjackings, and we saw whatever, and we said, you know, this is not right. And if these people were educated and if they had jobs, they would not be doing this. So we decided that we should put up some schools in slums of the country, and we educate the kids from the slums because they are the fighters. And we decided that we're going to put up 1,000 schools. And that was the birth of the Citizens Foundation. So today we have 1,600 schools, and every week to 10 days, there's a new school coming up, which is, I think, a very good feat. And the way they come up now is that people demand for a school. We don't have to go and ask them, would you like to give us money to put up a school? So there's a long waiting list of these schools, which is, it's so fantastic that people want to give and they want to fix their country as much as possible. Moving forward in 2010, we remembered when we started the TCF that the vision was education and the vision was they have to have jobs. We saw a huge population in Karachi, in Pakistan, more than 50 million youth between the ages of 15 and 35, that they were not doing anything. And we started a vocational program called the Hunar Foundation, and giving them vocations. Oh, press the wrong button. And so currently we have about 10 campuses all over the country. Along with that, we thought we should have some fun. So we went to a very old neighborhood of Karachi, where this was actually a little later, but it was rubble on the road and everything. And this is our custom house in Karachi, and they raise 40% of our revenue in this country. So what we did was we fixed the whole building. We made it into a pedestrian area, and it looks very nice. And we planted about 100 trees. And just beyond that, we also created a piazza. Now, this whole area is where a lot of underprivileged people live. And now, where they're living in very small, tight apartments or flats, now they can come down and they sit here and really enjoy themselves. And so we have a little area where there's water, there's a lot of peace, and we have called this the Pursukun Chowk, where earlier the name was Chariya Chowk. But I have to tell you, with all these things that I showed you, it is not a solo journey. You have to have like-minded people. You have to have groups of people who helped in all the way through, whether it's raising funds, whether it's building, whether it's whatever. So it's I think, very, very important for us to look at this, and where, actually what I want you to take from this talk is that you have to participate in this, and as I said earlier, you have to practice your ABCD, which stands for above and beyond the call of duty. Thank you.